Hi guys, it's Gamer here, and welcome to another video. And today I'll basically be helping you on how to jitter click. And there is actually a few simple ways, so make sure to stick into the video, and if you do like my content, make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 86. Now, before we go on to the jitter clicking, there is 5 very important rules before we jitter click. Rule number 1 is you do not rest your wrists like this. Like if you were drag clicking probably, or butterfly clicking. You rest your hand with the claw grip. And if you do not know what the claw grip is basically when I put only my fingers on my mouse. There is no connection with this. And the reason why that matters is because if I rest my mouse like this, I'm not going to really get any CPS. The vibrations are going to be cut, so it's not going to be easy. And it's going to be a lot harder to get a lot of CPS if you want to be a CPS demon. And if that doesn't matter, still you shouldn't put your wrist like this. You do not wrist aim. Wrist aim is not good for jitter clicking because you could break your wrist and it probably stops a little bit the vibrations, and you definitely do not want to do that. That's why it's very important to know what you're doing when you are jitter clicking. And now we go into the jitter clicking. Jitter clicking isn't clicking. Jitter clicking is when you vibrate your fingers like this. And you'll be like, oh, that's super easy. And then you go to your mouse and you start doing like this. But then, like 30 seconds later, you get really tired. So my tip is, instead of doing so hard like this with one finger, or like this, or whatever the jitter clicking method you are going to choose, instead just start like this. Like I put it in the mouse pad with this grip, and do not do it too hard because you will lose the combos when you are comboing, and it'll tire your arm a lot. I also had a bit of arm issues when I did this a lot, so I do not recommend to jitter click very hard. So my recommendation is just jitter click until a point where your hand is vibrating. This is very important if you really want to jitter click. Another thing is, do not wrist aim. Like I said before, do not wrist aim. Aim with your arm. Aiming with your arm is going to be so much more helpful. And you don't have to do these necessarily, but another one of my tips would be buy a big mouse pad. Since jitter clicking is a bit slow and you have to lower your sensitivity, to look around you might need a big mouse pad. And that's a huge mistake I did by buying this small mouse pad. And this is very small, almost the size of my hand. Which is why I recommend to all of you to buy instead a larger mouse pad so that you are able to aim very well. So now I'm going to show you how it's going to look like depending on how you jitter click inside of the game. that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, hope to